Getting a look at the picks for President-elect Biden's cabinet as his transition team takes a major step amid the ongoing fight over the election results. National city leaders supplying families with more than turkeys before Thanksgiving this year, how they're working to try to make sure people celebrate safely. And the new step leaders in Los Angeles are weighing in hopes of curbing the virus, something we haven't seen since the spring. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
This morning, 2 more states certifying their results and declaring Joe Biden the winner. I'm Virginia Cha. Both Pennsylvania and Nevada finalizing their election tallies. Biden's win in Pennsylvania coming after failed attempts by President Trump's attorneys to discount a group of mail-in ballots. Meanwhile, the Trump campaign demanding another recount in Georgia, which certified a Biden win earlier this week. All this coming as a federal agency finally recognizes Biden's transition team. ABC's Faith Abube has the latest.
President Trump on Twitter still vowing to keep fighting an election he's lost, even as his top official at the General Services Administration signs off on the beginning of the transition of power to President-elect Joe Biden. For weeks, Biden suggested the delay could cost American lives.
More people may die if we don't coordinate.
With pressure mounting from both sides of the political aisle and dozens of failed attempts in court by the Trump campaign to invalidate election results or prove voter fraud,
they promised blockbuster stuff and then nothing happened.
The General Services Administration finally giving access to millions in government resources to the Biden transition team Monday. In a letter to Biden, the head of GSA insisting she was never pressured by any executive branch official to delay the formal transition, saying her decision to move forward was triggered by recent developments involving legal challenges and certifications of election results. But on Twitter, the president implying he gave his approval in the best interest of our country. Overnight, Trump's chief of staff saying in a memo the White House will comply with all actions needed to ensure the smooth transfer of power.
And though President Trump still refuses to concede this election, ABC News has learned the Secret Service is preparing protection for his post-presidency life in Florida. Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, just moments ago, President-elect Biden introducing several of his picks for his cabinet. Now let's take a look at some of the nominees he named this morning. Alejandro Mayorkas, a Latino immigrant, tapped to be Secretary of Homeland Security. Janet Yellen, the former chair of the Federal Reserve, tapped for Treasury Secretary. Avril Haines, nominated to be the Director of National Intelligence. Antony Blinken, Biden's choice for Secretary of State. Now we are still waiting for other picks, including Secretary of Defense. Want to take a quick look at stocks because we hit a milestone today. The Dow topping 30,000 for the first time ever. And some of the main reasons for this are the Biden transition making some progress, but also vaccine hopes. So again, you can see the Dow up 1.5%. Also, we want to mention that President Trump making an appearance to talk about this, only to touch on today's stock market news, though he really didn't talk about much else, giving his administration credit for this milestone. Well, with just 2 days to go before Thanksgiving, the city of National City hosted their annual turkey giveaway. And this year, though, they are also handing out COVID-19 safety kits. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell shows us why city leaders are making an extra effort to convince residents to make safe decisions.
As we get closer to the Thanksgiving holiday, National City officials are doing their part in trying to control COVID-19. Even though the city has been proactive in trying to contain the virus, they are still among the top of the list when it comes to the number of positive cases in the county.
There's a spike, and we know that collectively, countywide, we need to continue encouraging people to stay home. We want grandma, we want our ates, we want our ninas and our grandmas to be around for our next holiday season.
And that's why National City is ramping up its efforts to get people to stay home for the holidays. At the annual turkey giveaway, aside from gifting hundreds of turkeys to residents, they also handed out COVID-19 safety kits.
We have got an infrared thermometer gun. We've got handy dandy here. We've also got additional face masks, hand sanitizer, and alcohol wipes that they can use at their leisure for their home. And really, I think one of the other important pieces that we are providing is a packet of updated health orders and what the mandates are for our community through the county health orders.
As of the latest county data, there are more than 2,200 positive COVID-19 cases in National City. And Mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis says she doesn't want that number to grow because of choices residents make over the holidays. Gary Line says his family is planning to follow the recommendations and skip on the big family dinner for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, just me, the wife, and my daughter and son, that's it. If it wasn't COVID, we'd have a lot more family members. But we're just living it to the blood only, so.
The mayor's office also says the city has reached out to businesses in the area, making sure they are fully aware of the mandates that come along with the purple tier as part of their efforts to try and control. Take two. 3, 2, 1.
Marie Coronel reporting there. Well, if you haven't decided on your Thanksgiving plans yet, you may want to consider the risk associated with holiday gatherings. And now there is a tool to help you do that. An interactive map based on data about state and county levels. This map gives you the risk level or the estimated chance broken down into a percentage at least one COVID-19 positive individual could be at an event in the county, depending on the size of that event.
What we do is take the recent last 10 days of new cases, use that as essentially a proxy for how much potential circulating spread there is, but account for under ascertainment of cases. The fact that for every documented case, there are many more actual cases.
What it doesn't do is show the risk of transmission, which people can lower by following health guidelines. If you'd like to learn more about this map, just go to our website, 10news.com. Well, businesses frustrated after a judge denied their request to allow them to reopen their indoor operations. 4 local businesses filed this lawsuit against the state and county on behalf of all restaurants and gyms that were forced to stop indoor services due to restrictions in the purple tier. The judge ruled against a temporary restraining order that would have let indoor spaces reopen. In the written ruling, the judge essentially said even though there are negative impacts to businesses, public health concerns outweigh those harms. A lot of business owners not involved in the lawsuit were waiting to find out if they could reopen their indoor operations.
I mean, I was hoping that it was going to go the other way to help all of us. It's been so hard on all of us restaurateurs and all of our team members. Hey, you're hired again, you're fired again, you're laid off again, you're on unemployment again. It's been so hard.
Cowboy Star Restaurant and Butcher Shop, one of the restaurants behind the suit, released a statement that reads in part, quote, "Our entire Cowboy Star family is heartbroken. We believed that we had science and data on our side. We also believe in our county health director, Dr. Wooten. We trusted her judgment on what is actually happening here in San Diego. Restaurants and gyms are not the problem, and we are being unfairly punished." Well, the county may offer financial help to businesses impacted by the purple tier closures. Supervisors Greg Cox and Nathan Fletcher proposing the county provide $20 million in relief to restaurants, gyms, and other businesses that operate indoors. The full board will consider that proposal tomorrow. If it passes, the county will start accepting applications for that money. Local restrictions on indoor dining mirror much of what we're seeing across the state, with so many counties in the purple tier. Just to our north, Los Angeles taking things a step further. LA County this week shut down all sit-down dining at restaurants, even outdoors, reverting to takeout only as well as delivery. They're also requiring anyone visiting by train or plane to sign a form acknowledging the state's quarantine advisory. And now officials in LA are discussing the possibility of issuing a stay-at-home order similar to the statewide order in the spring. But officials there say they are concerned about hospital space running out by Christmas if they don't act now. Pure Water San Diego's effort to turn wastewater into tap water just got a bipartisan green light in the House of Representatives. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie visited the treatment plant in Miramar to learn what happens next.
Once it's fully built out, in about 15 years, this facility will deliver roughly a third of the city's water supply.
We were able to come to an agreement on something that would reduce ocean pollution while it still created more water supply, and it seemed like a win-win.
Congressmember Scott Peters joined the mayor, the head of the Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Sanders, and the head of Coast Keepers, celebrating the bipartisan victory in the House of the bill known as OPRA 2, the Ocean Pollution Reduction Act, which will allow San Diego to move forward with the Pure Water Project, aimed at reducing ocean pollution and creating a robust reclaimed water supply. Under OPRA 2, the city must demonstrate that pure water can produce 83 million gallons of water per day by 2036 and reduce pollution by 100 million gallons, ultimately foregoing the taxpayer-funded process of applying for waivers so the 57-year-old Point Loma wastewater treatment plant doesn't have to add a secondary treatment step. Sanders, who was San Diego's mayor in the early stages of the project, said he was happy to see the business community and environmental groups come together, as well as an infamously divided Congress, to get this passed nearly unanimously, 395-4 in the House. Faulkner called it the city's largest infrastructure project and says he believes it'll pave the way for future water independence and climate security.
San Diego is really not just a statewide leader, but a nationwide leader in recycled water. I'm very proud of that. We're controlling our own destiny for the future from a sustainability standpoint. It's also the right thing to do for the environment.
It now moves to the Senate, where Peter says he expects it will pass quickly and expects the president to sign it before leaving office. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.